guys, I'm Tim. Welcome to Flix, where the reviews are unprofessional and the laughs are real. I got Sam and Adam here for you. We're keeping it going! Cue the music!
Oh, man.
Sam, talk about monster trucks!
Oh, I'm Adam, by the way.
I can't do it.
She can do
I
it.
can't
Why
talk
does it
about
crackle,
monster
Sam?
truck. Whew. We watched this movie. We watched this movie on Crackle. I just thought that I should read their synopsis because I just really like that they have a whole why it crackles. Like, what the fuck does that even mean?
Well, before you do that, what movie did we see?
You'll have to wait to find out.
All right. Carry on, then.
Oh, man. We watched Monster Trucks on Crackle. And one of my favorite things about Crackle is that in their synopsis, they say why it crackles. I don't know what that means. What does it mean? But, anywho, it crackles because it's one of those boy and his monster movies they just don't make anymore. Oh, wait. I guess they do. See? Like, do you need a better synopsis than that? Adam's
Tells you so much about it.
So much about the movie. But in case you wanted a real synopsis, it also had another sentence that I'm going to read for you.
Do you want me to read it?
I'll
read it. All right. Looking for any way to get away from the life in town he was born into. Trip, a high school senior, built a monster truck from bits and pieces of scrapped cars.
So this one was a Nickelodeon movie.
She's
voice.
just diving
Good
in
voice,
right
by
there.
The way. And you can rent it on Google Play for $2.99, or you can buy it. Just go all in and buy it for $12.99.
Or you go
Don't
free.
do that.
Or go free and watch it on Crackle.
Crackle.
Yeah, do that.
Sony
Yes.
Crackle. Did you know Sony has a Crackle?
I don't know, and I still don't know
What Crackle is?
What
Yeah.
exactly is crackling.
I don't either, but it's free.
It's free, so that's a pro. A con is that you will have commercial breaks, so like that doesn't bother me. Our Hulu has commercials, but if you're one of those people that hates commercial breaks, you probably don't want to watch Crackle. Maybe you're better off renting it, just saying. But any other pros and cons with Crackle? I mean, I thought it was fine. I liked that you didn't have to make an account.
Yeah, that was nice. We have it on our TV, so that was a bonus for us because didn't have to download any extra apps.
Yeah. What about you, Tim? Any thoughts on Crackle?
No, I like the name. I don't know
the
why.
name is pretty good.
We still don't know what it means.
What does it
but
mean?
We like it.
No, I have no idea, but, I like it.
They're just like, how can we make this Sam girl just start cracking up the whole movie?
That's true. Did I already say it was a Nickelodeon movie?
You did.
You
did. It's a
movie.
Nickelodeon
It's
production film.
And
We're missing out on the old VHS. It would be an orange VHS tape.
Yeah, which we didn't get that. Did they make orange DVDs?
I don't think we're missing out on that.
No, we are. I like my orange VHSs, man.
Yeah, that was cool. I didn't think anybody made any.
I'm gonna tell you, when the Nickelodeon thing popped up, you
check out? No, you checked in.
That was my first eye roll.
All right.
No!
Well, before we go into the movie, Tim, can you spell Nickelodeon?
No,
Because Sam can't.
no, I'm not.
Just
I'm not gonna
try.
attempt because I'll do it. I'll do it wrong. Yeah.
Okay, well, just know that I don't really know how to spell it. I spelled it wrong in my notes.
Yeah,
It's
she
not
also-
Starts
right.
with Nick
We should
and
know.
Nickelodeon.
It's a nickel. Oh, Dion. But Sam was posting on our Instagram, which, hey, we have an Instagram now. Come follow us.
Whoa.
We post very interesting things, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll just give you
It gives you a heads
little
up.
taste of what's going on in our lives and what's going on in the podcast. And the handle's Flix.
Y'all.
Yes.
Yeah, the Twitter is too. Check us out there.
Yeah, we're still waiting for Tim to give us his agreement that he'll make some roundhouse kick videos.
Yeah, he still hasn't done that. He still
So,
hasn't done that.
No, I kind of forgot about it, and I was happy I forgot about it.
Yeah, well, it's back.
Yeah.
so if you like us, just tweet at us or find us on Instagram and just spam us that you want to see Tim doing some roundhouse kicks, and then he'll have
he
to
will
do
have to do it. I have faith in him.
No.
But yeah, like Tim brought up that we're very unprofessional. I should really note that I myself am terrible at pronouncing names. Let's look at last week's episode.
I can't read, so
He don't read no good.
And I
don't
can't
read
spell,
no
so
good.
there we go.
Yeah. So let's go back. Let's look back at Agent Lenny Miller from Anna. I know, sorry, not Monster Trucks yet, but I just really want to point out that the actor's name is Cillian Murphy, not Cillian, like I said, the entire episode.
He is, in fact, not Italian. He's Irish.
She is Irish.
So, we're sorry
an Irish
about
rock
that, Killian. We didn't mean it.
If somehow you find this, I really want to apologize from the bottom of my heart.
Especially because we were praising you so
He
much.
probably
I
doesn't
know.
care too much, but
No, he definitely does.
It happens all the time, right,
Yeah.
Killian?
Right. I'm saying right for
Yeah.
him. But yeah, Tim, so you're saying you got some eye rolls just from the beginning. Like, did you watch a trailer for Monster Trucks? Or no? No?
I've been sticking to not watching.
Okay. I like that. So we kind of couldn't not watch it because we saw it in theaters like 7 times. Not the
Yeah.
movie, the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because we had like the movie pass before that disappeared, and we have the AMC A-list, so we've been to the theater quite a bit, so you see the same trailer about 7 times before it leaves.
Yeah, and I mean, this movie was memorable.
Because I said I wanted to see it.
Because he said he wanted to see it, and we saw the trailer so many times. So that is why I picked it for Box Office Bust. Lol, we totally forgot to tell you that part, too. So last week, if you weren't here, we rolled Box Office Bust, which means anything that failed in theaters compared to the budget. Or anything that just
didn't make expectations.
It didn't make expectations.
So like a movie like Justice League, they expected it to make more money than it did. But like we really need to talk about how much of a bust this was. Because it lost $123 million after factoring in all expenses and revenue. So even looking at just the box office and the budget, $123 million down the drain. Just to see these awesome monster trucks.
So now that you heard that it failed, let's read about our scores here. On Rotten Tomatoes, we had a 32% by critics.
Ooh.
I mean, I feel like that's par with the course with every movie we've reviewed so far, but I don't really remember.
No.
Critics are usually pretty harsh. And then we had
Harry and the Henderson was high.
Oh, okay. Harry was high.
What? Critics didn't have high on Harry and the Hendersons?
Oh, it didn't?
No.
Oh, yeah, no, we've been definitely high in this shenanigans.
Welcome to Flipper Flix.
Welcome to Flipper Flix.
Remember what we
It's
said.
been a week or two, and yeah.
Anywho, if you want to find out what Harry and the Hendersons got,
watch episode 1.
Yeah, go back there. We'll tell you there. And it got a 51% by audience. Monster Trucks got a 51%.
1 in 2 people like it.
Yes. So we'll put those odds to the test here in a bit. On Google Play, it got a 4.3. So I just feel like this, I think, is a blanket statement, if I remember correctly. The Google Play reviews, they're higher, right? Like, I feel like
They're
everything we've watched has been in the 4s.
It's a rating of 5. That's just going to be a higher rating.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, I think the Google Play people
I'm
are
more
nicer.
likely to give somebody a 4 out of 5 than I could give somebody a 7 out of 10. It's easier for me to give 7 out of 10 than out of 4.
Yeah.
Like, than to drop to a 3.5 out of 5.
That's true.
Like, yeah.
Well, maybe it's a bunch of kids rating it, being like,
Yeah.
Nickelodeon's great.
5-star. Nickelodeon.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. Well, let's talk about our expectations going into the movie. So we saw the trailer, and we were...
I thought it looked like a rambunctious time.
A rambunctious time. Okay. I would say that it was one of those movies that I was like, I'm not going to pay to see it, but since I have this subscription service, like, maybe if I have a free spot, I'll see it. So it wasn't super high on my list. However, when Box Office Bust came around, I knew exactly which one I wanted to watch, and it was this one. So, I guess you could say that I kind of wanted to see it, and I had expectations that it would be What about you, Tim?
Yeah, Tim. Tim's a huge monster truck guy.
Is he?
Yeah.
Are you?
I have no idea. I haven't known him for like
no.
forever, but I don't think we've ever once discussed monster trucks.
They're kind of cool.
Like
no, I don't know. I think, like, I was expecting something a little different,
Yeah? Did you expect actual
Because I
monster
hadn't
trucks?
seen anything. No,
Okay.
I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't that. But yeah,
Okay.
All
I
right, all
don't. I
right.
don't even know. I didn't really have expectations for it, but I also expected it to be like low budget, weird, and terrible.
Oh, okay.
I did not know it was going to be a Nickelodeon, kind of
$120
movie.
million budget, yeah.
Like, yeah, good CGI sort of thing and whatnot.
Yeah. And then you get to see Creature. Oh, spoilers!
Oops. Yeah,
Oops.
spoilers.
Oops, we did it again.
Well, I don't think we got too into it, but
Nah.
yes, spoilers. Don't
Spoilers.
go watch the movie. To
If
let
you don't want to be
know,
spoiled, if you want
Or
to.
not, and just listen to us talk about it. Either one.
and then go watch it.
Yeah, or do both. Listen
Or just
to us
don't
while
watch it.
watching it because I can guarantee you we're not going to go in line with the movie.
No.
Yeah.
No, never.
So that ending.
That ending, though. Nah, Tim, do you watch Nat Geo? Because that was one of the best quotes of the movie.
Oh, we're
That was
rolling into
pretty good.
quotes.
I'm rolling
already.
into
Yeah.
the quotes.
Yeah.
He's with this Meredith. Trip is the main
Yeah,
character.
what a name.
Trip. How do you spell it?
TRIPP.
Yeah. There are 2 P's. I thought
Yeah.
there was only going to be 1.
Yep.
Well, it should have been 3 because it could have been short for triple.
Oh.
Miss Nickelodeon, go edit that.
But Meredith, his fun friend, buddy, which by the way, they're both the actor and actress that played Trip and Meredith. They looked way too old.
Yes, they certainly did. But
They're-
hold on a
Yeah.
minute. They're not fun buddies.
No.
She
Fun friend. No. They're
has
not
the
fun
hots
buddies.
for him, but
She
they're
thirsts.
Oh, 100%.
they are what, like buddied up because of science or something? Like they're just
Because
science
he was
partners.
failing biology.
Okay, so she's his tutor.
Biology tutor,
Yeah,
yes.
she was.
So that's not a fun buddy yet.
Fun,
When we
period.
first-
Buddy.
I feel like she set that up on the side with the teacher, like, "Yo, dog, let me tutor this kid," and then he had to just roll with it because the teacher said she's your tutor now.
And then he was like, I'm not showing up to
"Yes."
my classes
Yeah.
because I'm going to go crush stuff with a giant hydraulic press over in the junkyard with
Mhm.
Mr. What's his name, guys? Mr. Weathers.
Okay, wait. I want to come back to that, but let's talk about the "Do you watch Nat Geo" quote
Oh, yeah.
because I think that was great
Because I love Nat Geo.
I do too. And so when she was like, "Let's set the precedence here," basically he's already met the creature, right? At this
Creech.
point, Creech.
Creech the creature.
And he's asking her if there's a possibility for there to have been like new species or whatever. Or
Right.
if there's been any discovered anytime recently. And she's all like, goes off on a tangent about it. And then she's like, wait, do you watch Nat Geo? And I just thought that was so great. Because that's something that I would do. Because I love Nat Geo.
Yeah, she got me hooked.
It is very good.
It's great.
Yes.
So I'd
Now,
be
I have
friends with
something-
Meredith. But go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he asks her there. He's like, any new creatures, but he specifically says sea creatures.
Yeah, I know.
And I looked away, like rolled my eyes for a second. I was like, why sea creature? What do you mean? You're not in the sea? That's it. At most, it was like my thought was amphibian or something, right? Like because he's all slimy and whatnot. He ended up being like an amphibian, is what they said. But
Yeah.
like that was my first thought. Was like, wait, he just said sea creature, and all this thing did was like roll around and drink oil. I don't know.
But it had tentacles.
Why does he?
It had tentacles like a
Yeah,
octopus, which is a sea creature.
yeah. I don't know.
But
It
you're
makes
right.
sense to me.
I mean, he was on land. He never once was in
Yeah,
any
he
water.
never was near water, so
Not
why
yet
would
he
we assume
wasn't.
that it was a sea creature? Yeah, right. Like he didn't discover that until what 3/4 of the way through the movie. That the thing
Yeah.
jumped in the water and would glow and shit. Yeah, I don't know. It was basically just fat, toothless that couldn't fly. That was
He
my
was.
opinion.
I got a lot of How to Train Your Dragon vibes from this movie.
Mhm. I think it was his face, Creech's face.
Face it and yeah, his
Yeah.
noises and stuff. Yeah.
But this was Nickelodeon's version. They make these giant sea creature that are bioluminescent. Which, because I was gonna say at first, like he should be blind, like because he lives so deep in the sea, like anglerfish and whatnot. Their eyes are just not great.
It's probably a form of communication.
Oh, that's true.
Ooh.
Ooh.
You're probably right.
I don't know.
I didn't think that far ahead.
No, but I was thinking like a lot of sea creatures down there they have no sense of eyesight because of the light. Well, the lack thereof light.
That's true.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting. But then they had all the bioluminescence, so they're glowing at least. I guess I can see.
Pretty cool.
They gotta spot their oil.
Yeah, there you go. But going back to the Smasher, I have a question for you two car people.
I'm not a car
manly
person.
men.
I'm gonna sound like one, but I'm not.
Yeah, you guys know what's up. Do cars actually explode out liquid if you squish them like that? Like, you know how he squished the first car and it just looked like it just exploded with liquid?
I mean, I don't know if they empty the fluids or not when they go to do that, but if you don't, yeah. There's a bunch of different fluids up in the engine.
You would have fluids popping out of you if we put you on the hydraulic press.
I'm so sorry.
I'm just
I asked
saying.
this question.
I'm just saying, like there's fluids in there, girl.
Yeah, that's a normal thing. That wasn't out of place. I mean, the colors might have been a little off, but
okay, so that was just me.
That was just you. Only you. Only you were like weird liquids.
Now, backing up before that, I also wanted to chat about how the opening scene when they first found the creatures was brought to you by Michael Bay. Did you see all these explosions?
Oh gosh, yeah.
All of the explosions.
Why? I don't know.
Because they're gonna explode.
Yeah, but Michael Bay didn't direct it. Like, I mean, what were they? They're an oil plant, so I guess there could be some explosions like that. But I don't know. The sheer amount of explosions was far too much for what was happening.
It's a little ridiculous, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Then Rob Lowe.
Oh, yes.
Rob Lowe. He comes out of the most fake-looking helicopter I've ever seen in a movie. That thing looked like it was on a wire.
Was.
I know.
No, I'm just oh,
well,
Rob
Lowe. Do it, right? Don't they do it like wires and stuff? But
I don't know. I've not watched those outtakes. Sam?
No, I don't know. It just looked ridiculous.
I think that you probably could, in a low budget operation, get like a toy helicopter and like put it on a wire.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then like gradually zoom in. So, yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
But I know that I'm a big Rob Lowe fan because I just find him funny. I gotta say, low key, the number one character though has to be Sam, the little ginger guy, the little redhead.
Yes.
Oh, like that was in the shop or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. His dad owns the Dodge store.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so amazing. First line of the movie. I'm growing out my hair. We totally look like brothers now. I was rolling at this point.
Well, for anyone who hasn't seen the movie, you have Trip, right? Who's like, I don't know. He's just like a normal looking human with some longish hair, right? And it's like dirty blonde. But like we'll say, for instance, he's definitely taller and skinnier than Sam.
To Sam.
And Sam is like a short, fat little ginger kid. So even if he grows out his hair, they're not going to look the same. So I don't know. I had that one written down too. I thought that was great.
It was so good. I don't know. I was dying at that point.
Yeah, that was a good one.
But yeah, like, can we just talk about how smart Trip is? Trip, genius kid, right? He sees some movement behind.
Wait for the punchline. Go ahead.
He sees some movements behind all these barrels before he meets Screech, and he chucks a wrench at it. Who is he? A guy from Dodgeball? What is Patches O'Houlihan? Who does he think he is? Throwing wrenches.
I'd do it.
You would do it?
No, I would keep the wrench. That's probably expensive. I wouldn't throw tools.
Yeah, that's true.
You find something else?
I want that back.
yeah, bring that back to me, please.
You got car parts laying around. Throw one of those.
That's true. You're in a junkyard. Like, there had to have been something bigger, right? And, like, less expensive that he could have thrown at him.
Like a rock when he starts throwing rocks at a car. Because there's that whole scene where after he saves him.
Yeah.
Oh, when he saves him from the hydraulic press. Sam's over here screaming, "Move! Move!"
I was going movie over. No.
So two different opinions on that.
No love for Creech.
Gotta love Creech, man.
God, that's such a terrible name too, Creech.
It was a really terrible name. I'm telling you, Trip is a genius.
Well, and I think my favorite part is, doesn't he explain it?
Which part? His name?
Yeah.
Why he named it?
Oh, I named the creature. His name is Creech.
Yeah.
That's about it.
I think you could have
I caught on to that one.
Yeah. I think we could have just let that slide and we would have figured that out.
Yeah, who else did you guys like in the movie? What about Burke?
I don't even know who Burke is.
Tim, do you know who Burke is? I'll give you
Was
two
that
guesses.
the sheriff?
Now, one
No,
more guess.
Burke was the guy in the black,
He's
bad
like the
guy?
villainous
bad guy.
Yeah. Anybody else notice he had an earpiece in? Like he's supposed to be like some
Yeah, the whole time.
CIA sort of bullshit.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
walks into the sheriff's office like asking about all this stuff with an earpiece in. Why are you asking about all this secret stuff? No reason. Earpiece.
Then he had that
Online.
classic line, "Go back to writing tickets and shooing cows off the road." I was like, oh my god. But yeah, like Rob Lowe, he walks in with Rob Lowe. He's like, I don't do any dirty work. He's highly recommended though. I'm like, oh gosh, we're going on a trip here, guys,
That's
or
true.
a ride because we're in monster trucks.
Well, when they do go to the police station, there was this guy in the background. Okay, well, first off, the first guy's watching SpongeBob, which
Two cases of SpongeBob in the movie. I only saw one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there are two cases.
There are two. You're gonna have to rewatch it
Okay.
now.
Yeah, I gotta go find that second case. Well, this is the first case that we know of, and
One
only
of the
case
two.
that
One
we
of the
know
two.
of, where the first guy in the desk is watching SpongeBob, and then the guy in the back. I have no idea what face he's making. This goes up with Sarah's Doogie face. Like, this guy is just like duck facing is like the best that I could describe.
Oh, I don't know.
But like, so the CIA guy, Burke, is talking to the front guy about who knows what. I think they're just questioning, right? But the guy in the back, you can just see the camera, and the guy in the back's duck facing. And we haven't even talked to him yet. And then the camera zooms in on him for whatever question he's supposed to answer. And he's still duck facing. Like, I don't get it. I don't know why we're making that face. I don't know. Is that his thinking face? Like, I just thought that was hilarious. I can't with that. That's just the face that I make when people ask me questions.
Struggle face. Yeah.
Sheriff Rick is like, can you please leave, sir? Like, this is like important stuff about my stepson.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe
stepson, I don't know. I don't know if it was like boyfriend or husband to the mom, but Sheriff Rick.
At least boyfriend.
At least boyfriend who's been around for a while.
Yeah, seems like it, yeah.
It's always that movie where the stepson is always getting into trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it did follow that archetype for sure.
It definitely did. If it weren't for knowing that Sheriff Rick was the dad, I swear there were no cops in this small town up in North Dakota.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's portrayed a lot in like small town movies. So
yeah.
I don't.
They're like either crooked or like they know the main character.
Or super like out there, like country-ish, or just something, I don't know.
Yeah, just not a normal cop.
There's always some little thing, and at least in movies, that they're like they have a little niche about them, or there's just not a lot of them, or whatever. But
yeah, because like these cars are crawling all over the walls. And there's a single sheriff following him. That's it, and that's only because it's his stepson.
That's more realistic than like 30 cars in a small
town. No, 30 cars. Period. No more, no less. Must be 30 cars present.
Maybe in a city, but
this is Grand Theft Auto, man. Cars crawling on, cars crawling on walls. But so I gotta say, like, so the way he started crawling on the walls, like he pulled a steering wheel back to get it to jump, like, but he like makes like a lever for the rest of it.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Like, why wouldn't you make another lever?
My thought was animal cruelty, first of all.
No creatures were hurt during this film.
He zaps him with air, and that's what makes him jump or whatever. So that he's like, okay, I'm gonna start doing that. I don't know if it tickles him. I don't know. I was like, oh, okay, straight into it then. Got it.
He's like, all right.
Yeah, that was weird. I don't know. It's like he taught him things that we didn't know behind the scenes, but we saw him do that, and like
we saw him do that part. But then he just decided to crawl.
And like almost like telepathy, he would be like, okay, do this, and then like it would do it, even though he's like telling it just, I don't know. Forever.
Well, when the truck scales the wall, I think my favorite part was Burke's face. Like, when he just is like, what the fuck, mate? Like, he has, like, his hands up, and I don't know, his face is probably just, like, Tim's face the entire time he's watching the movie.
Yeah, probably. Like, I was thinking, like, he could be the perfect, like, what was it, CSI? where he takes the glasses off and it became the meme.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like that is like what I envision of Burke doing that. Yeah, we also got to talk about how like there's that random other couple that like they don't say anything except for like mock his car once. Couple or brother sister.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know what was going
Are you
on.
talking about the ones in like the green?
The
truck?
green truck
Yeah.
couple of
All right.
people. Yeah, like
Well, all
I
right.
didn't
First
get
of all, I have something on that for you, Sam.
Okay.
Here's your car
Okay.
problem that I have in the movie. One of them. So that truck. Well, first of all, that kid just drives through fields and doesn't give a crap about anything.
North
But
Dakota.
anyway, that truck's like a V8 at most, right? And he's got stacks on it as if it's a rolling coal. He's just like, no, it's not a diesel. Why is that there? I get it's a kids movie, whatever. But I had problems like that throughout the movie.
Tim's gonna watch this and be like, that engine makes no
that
sense.
was not accurate. And then the bad guy trucks had all the gauges and stuff that a turbo diesel would have. But guess what? I didn't hear no diesel.
Oh, I didn't either. I totally know what that
You're no
sounds like,
diesel.
and I did not hear it. But Tim, since you know about trucks
Just saying.
clearly, did you get the line when he said he goes to his like old blue truck at the beginning?
Oh
From
yeah,
that-
that's my favorite line.
Yeah, the I'm gonna put an elephant in you.
Okay, that wasn't my
I
favorite.
did
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
catch that.
Oh yeah, he says I'm gonna put an elephant in you, and I was like,
I do
that's
remember
weird.
that. Yeah.
So that's actually makes sense because the original 426 Hemi was called the Elephant
Yeah.
Motor.
Yeah, the Helephant. Yeah. Well, that's where the Helephant came from nowadays, I believe, for like the Hellcat and stuff.
Oh,
And the crate, there's a crate motor called the Helephant that comes with 1,000 horsepower.
oh, nice.
So yeah, the original Elephant. Yep.
Did you catch the part where when that red truck that was first crushed in like the opening scene, it had a different label on it. It wasn't as big of an engine as this 426 Hemi. It was a smaller engine.
I did not see that. No.
No, I didn't either, but on IMDb's goofs list, I caught it.
Nice.
I'm good at reading sometimes.
Nice. Yeah. No, I didn't. I wasn't paying attention to that part. No. I will say though, when he's like talking to his truck at the beginning before he finds Creech.
Mhm.
God, I can't believe I just said it.
I'm gonna just
He's
save
like,
that line
You're
and
gonna
just
be the
send that
most
to
beautiful
everybody.
truck out there, and I immediately was like, "Yup," because I agree, it would have been.
Yeah?
He murdered it.
Aw.
You love that blue
Uh,
truck?
That truck was dope. Yeah, that thing would have been a beast if he got it running and driving around. That would have been awesome to see.
But then he just has a creature named Creech. Creech
Yeah.
the creature.
It still turned out to be the most beautiful car out of all of them, but
Yeah. You didn't like all those extra jobs they did on those red and green cars?
I'm
gonna go with
not
a
an
no.
off-roader kind of guy.
You're not
I mean,
an off-roader?
Yeah, it could look cool, but if I got a truck, I'd probably slam it and turn it into a race truck instead of, going off-road with it. So
Yeah. That sounds like you.
yeah.
Did anybody else notice that all of the illegal driving they did, first off? But that nice lady in North Dakota waves to be like, "Oh, thanks for letting me over." He just slams right into her. He absolutely wrecks her.
Well, he was also coming up, and when she gets over, she basically just cuts into him.
I know.
Like, she waves with her blinker on, like, "Yeah, I'm coming over, thank you," and smacks into him. Like, well, hold up. Like,
down here in Tampa, you wouldn't even get that. She would have been over there
Yeah,
and gotten through 7 more cars.
I saw that as not somebody being nice. That was sass. Like, straight up just, like, I'm coming in your lane. I have my blinker on. Hello, hi, see you, yes. And, expecting them to brake instead of you, as you cut them off. That's what I saw that as.
I took that as, oh, friendly old country lady. She's not even old. She's middle-aged.
No, I straight up, maybe that's city
What'd you
driving.
think,
I don't know. I just took that as straight up just cutting you off.
Well, I have some beef. First beef of the episode. Well, first beef where I called it out.
Beef.
When he...
Give me the beef.
So that just whole scene, right? So he revs him up with gas, which also, shout out to Meredith, $400 worth of gas.
Oh my god.
She doesn't even bring it up.
It's
What
a good thing her
girl.
family is rich as shit.
Yeah. But that was not the point I wanted to make. It was that... So that begins the whole damage sequence, right? So
Right.
he cuts into her, and then since Creech is hyper, he runs into a bunch of other cars. He goes through a dealership and just wrecks so many cars. And
So many.
we don't even see where's Step Police dude now? Nobody called him. No dealership is like, oh, it's fine. I'll just eat the costs on those like 10
Yeah,
cars you
right.
just destroyed. That was crazy. Crazy talk.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny though, because that dealer was like, "I'm gonna unload this lemon on this
I
guy."
know.
I was like, "Dang!"
Dang, this movie got dark.
But then it got wrecked, so it doesn't matter.
It did. That old man was fine.
I agree though, Sam. That was a bit ridiculous.
Now Tim
Because
went
he
on
kind of
like,
got away with a lot.
he did.
Exactly.
It was just kind of like, okay, we'll ignore that, I guess.
We just won't bring that up.
No,
That's how
it's all good. It's all
I
good.
mean, there's no way that truck had plates on it and wasn't registered, so I don't know what the besides what it looked like, which was, I don't know, pretty obvious if you
Yeah.
were rolling by.
Very old blue truck.
Yeah,
With tentacles hanging out of it.
tentacles.
Did no one notice the tentacles? Because I did.
Wait, how? So
Oh, I
many
didn't
times
see
you
him
could
once.
see the
Where
tentacles.
were their tentacles?
Everybody ignores it.
In the cilia?
Yeah.
All right, Tim. You had
Ah,
in the last episode with Anna, you discussed how you're not the biggest fan of somebody just knowing stuff.
sure.
Which was more preposterous? The fact that he knew how to build all of these engine parts and everything as a senior in high school, or him just spouting all those physics terms out one morning after not sleeping all night.
I mean, I don't think. I mean, engines themselves aren't complicated. So if he's been doing it for a long time, or even just like a couple years, he'd probably be able to build his own engine. If he's been doing that like steadily, I
Okay.
don't see a problem with that.
Remember, he's
I don't
failing
remember the
biology
physics
though.
lines.
Oh yeah. So she
Well,
rolls
yeah,
up
but
and he starts talking about all the torque and everything, and he's like, "Oh, and the velocity can increase if we do this and this and this." And she just looks at him. You're not dumb. What? Oh, nothing.
Yes, that was one
Oh.
of my favorite lines.
yeah, okay, I remember that. I mean, torque is not
No, I know, but
an obscure.
he was like
word,
explaining
especially
like
for
the
carburetor.
actual physics
Right.
of it.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're
Although
failing. You're failing biology right now.
Right, but like to me that's like he has an interest in one area, so maybe he focuses more on that and like would have a better understanding of that and doesn't care to learn anything about something else. So it's not necessarily that he's dumb, it's that he just does not care and he wants to focus on something else completely and like he literally is just learning about that and more interested in that
Then
rather
going to
than
school and learning biology.
focusing on anything else. Yeah, which is a bad idea, but that's my take on it. Yeah, I mean engines they're not complicated, and I could see I don't know they kept saying he was dumb, but it like
I think it was like
I don't know.
just how they're supposed to portray him. But this Meredith girl, she had to have been stalking him. She knew way too much
Right.
about his family, him, and everything about him.
Right?
Like she just shows up, like, oh hey, I brought note cards.
Yeah. I had that point too. She just shows up to the junkyard, not knowing that he's going to be there at that time of night.
Oh, and
Shows up,
I have
maybe-
a curfew, like a
Yeah.
very early curfew.
Yeah, so like, what the heck, woman? But I don't know. I mean, it makes sense with her crushing on him or something, right? But like,
Yeah.
also at the same time, not.
Yeah.
Because you got cell phones, and she clearly had his number, I guess, already.
That's
So
true.
why
Well,
wouldn't
yeah,
that be
she
like a
definitely
text
had
first?
it.
Also, she tracked his phone at one point.
Yes. She's just,
Don't
and
you
he
need
was
to
like
have the
chill
app
with
on the
that.
other phone?
Like, don't you have to like put agreements on and everything? Nope, I can track
Yeah.
anybody's phone at any time.
Yeah.
Okay, Meredith. Like, I'm just in the bathroom.
Poor Meredith.
Yeah.
Poor
I liked
Meredith.
Meredith.
Meredith,
I
that
don't
was
have
like
anything wrong with
27,
her.
being a high schooler. Yeah, Meredith.
But yeah, she yep.
Well, I had some beef in that note card scene.
More beef.
More beef.
Do it.
So earlier, when he went to call the cops, when he first found Creech, he like locked up the junkyard, right? Like
Yes.
he locked it all up, and then like they got there, and he had to unlock it all, and they all came in. Okay. This time, when she shows up and he's just like getting Creech in the truck, and they just leave, right? Because the bad guys are there. He doesn't lock up the junkyard. He's basically just like walks
Poor
out.
Mr. Weathers.
No big deal. And I'm like, why did you worry about locking up the junkyard earlier, but now you suddenly don't give a crap?
Also, do junkyards
Right.
just have that much oil just laying around?
Yeah,
I
that's...
don't know.
Did anybody else notice? He just was getting barrels and barrels of
Barrels
oil.
and barrels of oil.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe like go back to the fluids thing. Maybe they do empty the fluids, and he would have something like that.
Yeah, like
but
somewhat used oil.
Yeah.
Like maybe they drain the oil and whatnot, but then
He's
why would the
clogging holes
car
here.
have all these?
The ship is gonna sail.
But
But did Mr. Weathers live nearby, you think? Like Danny Glover's character.
I don't.
yeah.
I mean, I would like
Well,
to think that he did, but like the
I thought he
first,
lived on the property.
I always assume that. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
I thought that too. But then, like, why?
Why
Wouldn't
didn't he
have
freak out by
called
the noise?
him first
Over who?
over the police?
That's a good point.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, maybe
And
because
why
he knew
wasn't he
Sheriff
involved at
Dad,
all in it?
Sheriff's
Yeah.
stepdad.
Like he just seems like he wasn't readily accessible, but
Maybe
maybe
you're
this
right.
was
Maybe
just
he
one
is
of.
just dumb.
I will also state that Mr. Weathers is in a wheelchair, so
Yeah.
That's true.
for somebody to try and save me from a giant amphibian tentacle monster, not call
Maybe
Mr.
not.
Weathers.
But I would.
Maybe don't throw a guy with a wheelchair at a monster.
Yeah, like, unless you're just trying to play like scapegoat and run for your life and hope that he feasts on him instead.
Yeah.
Sam's going full horror movie here.
Well, no, I was just thinking that he had to have some skin in the game. If it was his junkyard, and it was like this was basically like his child prodigy that had been working there all the time, so that he knows all
Right.
how to do all this stuff, and then you wouldn't be like, oh, let me go call him. I don't know. That just seems odd to me. But again, like I think they either cut around some stuff or they just were like not addressing things because we only saw him in like 2 scenes, right? Like the
Yeah.
beginning and the end. So
No, he had a middle
Right.
part.
maybe he just checks out of his junkyard. He doesn't give no
Yeah, he
craps.
might not stay there. I'm not sure. That's a good point.
Who knows?
I would chalk a lot of the stuff that happens in the movie randomly or whatever without explanation, kids movie stuff, or
As
just
Nickelodeon.
movie pushing itself along, the convenience factor that they can just make things happen in the movie without having to explain it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good catch actually. That throws me off.
Yeah. What'd you think of
Why
the
wouldn't he be involved?
Right. Like he's been living there, like it's
Yeah.
not like he was quiet. Well, but I mean, at the same time he knows that Trip is gonna be loud.
That's
Yeah.
true.
It is what it is. He knows that this kid is working on trucks, dropping shit. But all those barrels fell and the hydraulic press went off.
Yeah. We'll just chalk it up to like
He's also deaf.
yeah. He's old and
Selective hearing.
yeah. He doesn't.
He's just
care.
in the back. I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah.
Whatever the Lethal Weapon line is.
I don't know, but that
Tim?
sounds right.
I don't remember.
I'm trying to think of the Sunny episode now.
Wait, I'm getting too old for this shit.
I'm getting too old for this shit.
I'm getting too old for this shit. That would be the one line that I could think of. Yeah.
Did anybody else think it was a little crazy when at the last car chase up through the mountain, Trip just falls out of his seat?
Mm-hmm.
Like, dude was harnessed in, and then he was harnessed in again afterwards.
It's pretty great because he at one point has a regular seatbelt.
Yep.
Yes.
And then he has a harness, and then he has a regular seat belt again, I think. I don't know. There's a lot of continuity issues with this movie, I feel like.
No.
Again, convenience of having things happen randomly.
Well, because the new trucks that they fixed up
Definitely
had the
had
harnesses.
harnesses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like,
Scientist had one.
yeah, and you're presumed to think, like, oh, maybe he just installed a harness. But, like you're saying, they cut back at a different time later on, and he either doesn't have one or he has a regular seatbelt. And you're like,
Yeah.
wait a minute. So you can't just, like, dismiss it as, like, oh, well, he just put a new one in.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. He just loses it, and then he's hanging for his life.
Yes.
Right.
I don't think I could stay. I'm gonna be honest. Not holding on. I'm dead.
That
10
door-
times out of 10.
Also, I don't know about that door.
Yeah, that door also coming with me.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Sam, you able to hold on? You got that grip strength of a Titan.
No way. And
No?
that scene was just...
Tim would have crawled back in, stood on top. So
Lesson learned here, kids. Buckle up.
Yes!
buckle up for safety.
Actually, I have something on that, right? So, like, when the 3 of them, the green truck, the red truck, and the Creech truck, are being chased
Ooh,
and
nice.
all of the monsters are in them, right? And they had, like, an unnecessary amount of bad guy cars. There were 6. I
Did
don't
you
know
count?
why. Yes, there were 6.
Nice.
It was-
In that
it was
formed
too
up
many.
fashion line. Yeah.
Yeah, they
all
just made
black,
them...
all the exact same.
Yeah, all black, all the exact same. They were doing like flying V formations, like it was ludicrous. But anyhow, when the scientist guy, who suddenly decides that he's gonna be a good guy,
I love the scientist guy.
yeah, he was good. When he's like driving and then his monster like goes up and flips maybe one or two of the cars, at least one.
Yeah.
He just goes, I really hope they had their seatbelts on. So Nickelodeon is just trying to let you know,
Really
like, you should wear seatbelts.
Right, yeah.
Definitely wear your seatbelts, kids. Also, we probably dropped too many curse words for children.
Yeah.
Children.
Yeah, I don't think children listen to us, but
Who
if they
knows?
do, wear the dang seatbelts.
So during that car chase,
Seatbelts.
go ahead, Tim.
No, I was just yelling seatbelts.
Seatbelt. Okay, so during that car chase scene, did anybody else know? Did Sam? I know didn't notice this because I brought it up when we were watching. They did that like old school scream when one of the old evil guys
Yes.
crashes.
Yeah.
Did you know it's called the Wilhelm
I was
scream?
gonna say I forgot to look it up, but yeah, I couldn't remember the name of it.
How many movies and like films and TV series do you think it's been in?
It's
50.
in so many. It's used in so
You think
many.
50?
50.
Not in that 50. No, it's way more than that.
All right, Tim, you guess.
I don't have a guess because I don't know that I can think of a number of movies. Lots. I mean, I'll give you a percentage. I feel like it's.
I don't have a
60%. Yeah, but it's like 60% of movies or something. I don't know. It's probably not that high.
433 films.
Really?
433. That's way more than 50.
That's way more
More
than
than
50. Yeah.
Holy cow.
The one I know it from Star Wars, like the original trilogy.
Yeah.
It's the scream that the stormtroopers always get hit with when
Yeah.
they blow up.
Wow.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah,
It's
known as
always
the
in movies
Wilhelm
with
scream.
people falling.
Yep.
And I thought in this movie it was like really out of place. It
It
just
was
like they
so
threw
out
it
of
in there.
place.
The guy was just like, ah! It's
And I'm like,
oh.
clearly not his voice.
Yeah. And it in the worst way possible was it placed in a movie, but I think they literally just had to do it. Like, I don't know,
It's
they just
considered
wanted-
a stock sound. I think you can
yeah,
just buy
they
the
wanted
rights
to
to it.
sprinkle it in somewhere, and it was like, oh, here you go, right here, do it.
Could you imagine
It was
being the
very
guy that
forced.
made the Wilhelm scream? You're like rich and famous and nobody knows it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Or
Wilhelm.
selling the scream for $1, so he's not rich and famous.
Yeah.
He's just famous, kind of. Not
Well, either way, dude who made the Wilhelm scream, thank you for making
Iconic.
our life more interesting and iconic.
really. I know. Now this movie, going through those mountains, was not even in North Dakota.
Okay, yes, thank you for bringing
Yeah.
this up because I just wanted to know if anyone ever could confirm that North Dakota looks like that. Because
Why would you move there in a heartbeat?
yeah, I would, but I was just like, there's no way this is what North Dakota
No, I don't
looks
think
like.
Canada's going to let you emigrate up there right now.
So what part of Canada?
British Columbia.
Okay.
Yeah, but one of the oil, like, the actual scene where the oil factory is,
Mm-hmm.
oil drill, whatever it's called, Montgomery, Alabama.
Wow, they're not even close to North
All over
Dakota.
the
They are
place.
not.
What the heck?
Yeah, because BC is
Why
really...
pick North Dakota then?
Right?
Well, because we're gonna try and go through the United States of America of movies. We got our North Dakota in.
There we go. Well, I was
All
going
right.
to say they picked North Dakota because nobody could be like, that's not what North Dakota looks like.
They're like 7 people. Okay, sorry, North Dakotians, North Dakotites. I don't know. Again, we don't know what things are called. We're not professionals. But yeah, the folks up there in North Dakota, I apologize for my wife's harsh remarks that nobody lives up there. Because
Yeah.
you do.
And we're sorry that Nickelodeon claimed that they were
They're
in North
making
Dakota
false
when
claims
they
'cause-
weren't at all.
Because I would have been stoked if I was from North. I get excited when somebody puts Tampa on the map. I can only expect that somebody who puts North Dakota in a movie, I'd be like, hot damn, I'm watching this.
Hey, Reginald, let's go see that movie in North Dakota. And then
What
they show
accent
up.
is that?
What was that?
What was that? I don't even think I've heard that one.
And then
That was
they
like,
show-
hey, chachi, mixed with like a country accent.
And then they show up in North Dakota. No, they're already in North Dakota.
They're already there. They
They
live
show
there.
up at the movie theater to watch monster trucks. And they're like,
This isn't
what
here.
part of North Dakota is that, Reginald? I don't think I've seen that part.
Quick sidebar, Sam calls me Reginald. She's Eleanor.
Mm.
These are our country names.
Yeah.
We only use them when we go camping. So
Yeah.
we'll have to go to North Dakota and see if we can use them.
But yeah, North
Fair.
Dakota.
I don't know. Whenever I see Ohio in a movie,
Yeah?
I'm always like, oh, why?
I always get excited if it's Cincy, just because
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why I get
still
excited.
Go, why? I don't know.
Unless it's shoot, who is it? Charlie Sheen's brother.
Martin Sheen?
Not Martin Sheen. Martin Sheen.
That's
Martin
right.
Sheen. Martin Sheen.
Yes.
Martin Sheen.
Why is that?
He's so upset about it.
Oh yeah, that sounds right.
It's Emilio Estevez. Yeah. That's his brother.
Who's Martin
You
Sheen?
should look up Martin Sheen later.
Is Martin Sheen the dad?
Is it the dad, Sam?
I don't know. Now I'm on pins and needles. He was so offended.
That's the dad.
Damn it, Eleanor!
Yeah, it's the dad.
Okay.
But-
See, I was in the same family, and he was just was not having it.
No, I know. No, Emilio Estevez loves Cincinnati.
Oh.
He has a whole movie about the public library.
Oh, yeah.
Like a movie, not just like a documentary. He did a whole movie in the Cincinnati library.
I remember that.
But back to monster trucks. That stepdad at the end. Man, Sheriff Rick was the man. He just...
Fired is what he was.
No. Hired. Promoted.
How do you
Promoted
promote
to-
yourself above sheriff?
Super Sheriff, Tim.
Super sheriff.
Come on. It's a kid's movie. Now he gets to ask for even more cows to get off the side of the road.
Oh,
Yeah.
I get it now.
But when he pulls into that with that giant truck, the giant dump truck, I'm just sitting there like, he's going to run over their trucks.
Yeah.
Also, he fit perfectly. I'm assuming it was literally built for that vehicle to get through there.
Probably, yeah. Also, I don't know why they had one of those, but yeah, continue.
Well, because they were digging in that ravine at the end with the giant crater. Had to put the dirt somewhere. Gonna make some bullshit up. Here we go. Clogging some holes. Clogging
Like
some
those-
holes.
Those are usually used to like tow stuff. I don't think those are used for like dirt.
Nope, only dirt. I don't know.
I don't. That's.
I sit at a
I don't
desk.
know. Also, I don't think they move like they move quickly because they're big. I don't think they move as quickly as it was portrayed in the movie.
No, they
but
put some
yeah,
turbo diesel in it.
That might help.
I don't know.
I've never seen one of those.
I've seen
Never
them on
seen
like
one?
Tonka,
They're
like Tonka cars.
Okay. Because I've never seen one.
I've not seen
IRL.
human to scale.
Yeah, and it just looked massive.
No, that was pretty to scale.
Really?
I've just not seen
But
it.
that's what, yeah, for what they are, yeah, that was to scale pretty effective. But effective, that's not the right word.
Efficient? No, that's wrong too.
No, that's
We don't word good either.
I'm really
guys.
good with words.
Sam's our
Yeah,
word
no,
person.
That truck, I don't know, it was out of place, but it was in the movie. So
It was
you go.
there.
It
It was
was
there.
there. And it was used in the ways that it was used.
And then they just lit that road on fire. It's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sheriff Dad. Now I gotta say, like at the end though, like you'd expect that Sam kid, the ginger, got nothing.
Mhm.
He's not hanging out with them. Like Meredith even said,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to hang out with him. I was
Yeah.
expecting him to drive behind him with his car now, but
I
nope.
expected him to be in one of the trucks.
Yeah, I know. I was a little upset that he got shot.
I guess he had to hold down the fort at the dealership, but
Probably.
yeah, I think it's odd that he didn't get another scene. But the weird
Yeah.
people that we don't even know who they are in the green truck, like they wrapped that up where she just like waves to him
In
in
her
their
little
like,
Volkswagen.
yeah, their little car at the
Yeah.
end. Like they
Again,
contributed
sister,
nothing.
girlfriend. I don't know.
I don't know.
Right. It's just supposed to be like the guy that probably bullies him or something.
Yeah, but he didn't even. He just did one terrible joke. That was it.
Oh God, yeah.
She didn't
Well, you
even
could
say
tell
anything.
the girlfriend, like, yeah, you could tell she was like not
Kinda
really
into him.
the boyfriend or whatever. But
Yeah.
she was, into Trip. Yeah. But the dealership with the redhead kid, he talked about how they had to be out by 7 a.m.
There's no way they were out by 7.
There's no way. Well, also, where was everybody at? Because the corporation or whatever had like everybody was at work, going, walking around, doing normal thing. I'm like, there's no way that all these people are here before 7 a.m. doing all this stuff and the dealership's empty. Like, there's no way.
Right?
He's like, and it was clearly very bright out. So it was, I don't know.
Hashtag
I don't know.
doubt.
Yes, I have doubts about that too because the whole thing was you had to be out at 7 because the workers show up then, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so even if, like, okay, let's say that by some miracle they made it before 7. You have to assume that they were close to 7, so you should be seeing.
Yeah.
You should be seeing people show up, but since it's a montage, nobody showed up.
Man, I wish I could montage stuff. I would be so much faster at work.
I think my favorite part of the montage was when we see the little Ginger's butt crack.
Oh, yes! He needs some crack spackle. Some crackle spackle.
That's why it crackles.
Ayo! Just a boy and his monster.
And his crack.
And his best friend's crack.
Well, maybe not even his best friend, but
his brother.
Some kid that they just stole trucks from, basically.
Yeah, because like that kid's
also,
not getting his
parts
truck
that
back.
came out of nowhere. Where did you get these random parts, these aftermarket parts for these trucks? I don't know. This is weird.
You mean just random Dodge dealerships don't have those parts?
I mean, I saw like 2 Mopar boxes.
I don't
But
even know what
Mopar
that
wouldn't
is.
make it's like Dodge's, like that's what you call like Mopar no car, like
Yeah, I don't know anybody that says that personally.
Yeah, it's a car thing, but
Okay.
like a Dodge Performance, you're like, yeah, Mopar is what they call
Mopar.
Challengers, Chargers, stuff like that,
Tim showing his car love.
Yeah, sorry. But yeah, no, I had a lot of issues with car stuff in this film, and I'm probably going to in the future. I try not to, but it happens.
It's Tim's thing.
They just had all these
Tim's
random
got
parts.
her beef. Tim's got his cars, and I've got my weird random voices.
There you go.
Wait, you guys didn't like my voice?
No, I loved your voice. Can I get it again?
I don't know how to replicate it.
I don't think you can.
She can't do that again.
I don't think you can. We've been together for 11 years, and I think you can replicate
Sam,
that.
just pretend you're in North Dakota.
Go.
I'll work on it.
She's not going to try.
Nah,
she is not going to try. But
it's harder under pressure.
It is a lot, yeah. So, like, just thinking about this movie. It's a movie about a monster that goes into a truck against an evil oil company.
Yeah.
How was this made? Like, elevator pitch this for me.
So, we've got...
You're losing me.
Hold on!
You a big picture person?
Let's see. I have a movie about a high school kid who fails biology and he doesn't have a dad, or at least his dad's a piece of shit, and then you should be like, yeah, that's good, because that's what they like. That's what they like. That's what all these movies are like. And then he
finds a monster.
Somehow finds a monster. And then instead of, being scared of it or like setting it free like Free Willy, he puts it in his truck because all bro wants to do is to have a car. And so he puts it in the truck, and then we just get to be like, woo, it's in the truck, yeah! And then the bad guys come, and they're like, we want the monster. And he's like, no, he's my truck! And movie.
Oh, okay.
See, so like, did the voices
help? That could be a very real pitch. Yeah,
I think it did.
Right? So like...
I will say it came from a 4-year-old.
That's fine. See, if you get excited about it like I was, there's more chances it'll get it passed.
She was flailing?
Yeah.
So if you're trying to make a movie...
I can tell.
You can just envision it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So like if you're trying to pitch a movie, just start flailing.
Yes.
Right.
And get excited.
Very emphatic.
Emphatic. Tim's throwing his hands at his computer right now.
And then any questions that you have about it, like, well, what other characters are going to be like? We're going to have a fat kid, and we're going to show his butt, and we're only going to show him for a couple scenes. That's how you get movies done.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's how.
All right,
and
good enough.
Scene.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, will you write this all up for us? Thanks. Like, or are you just like a big picture guy?
Write out the script.
Gal.
Oh, I don't do that. Well, do it anyway.
See, that's probably what happened in this movie. That's why we have so many questions. Because somebody that clearly doesn't know cars got together with somebody that clearly doesn't know how to write a script. And this is what happens.
Boom, done.
I feel like they were just like, guys, we need a friendly monster movie. What about a fat Toothless? Toothless is popular. Okay, roll it out. And then that was,
Yeah. And that was it. That was it.
And then half the people in the world liked it, according to Rotten Tomatoes.
Half the people who watch the film will like it. Not half the people in the world.
Half the people in the world.
That's a very large statistical difference there.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so
not half the people.
So going
yeah, I can't be half the people because North Dakota probably hated it. But continue.
But South Dakota loved it because it was.
Because they were like North Dakota.
What about East and West? I don't know.
East Dakota?
That's probably where those people were that came in earlier
That's
that
what-
were making
yeah.
those voices. They're from East
Yeah.
Dakota.
Oh, that's what it was?
Mhm.
See,
Yeah.
I don't know the East Dakota accent that well.
It was that.
I assume that's like Minnesota, right?
Minnesota.
Minnesota?
Yeah.
Oh, that map is way too small. I tried to turn around to look at our map to confirm.
No, it's definitely to the east. For sure.
Minnesota's?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was saying like directly. Okay, anyways, I want to get into where have you guys seen these actors and actresses from?
Nowhere except for Rob Lowe and the fat ginger.
You don't know where
No.
Trips is from?
No.
Trip is Havoc in the X-Men, the newer X-Men series.
No.
He's the guy that like he's
I've never
Scott
watched
Summers, also known as Cyclops, his older brother. I thought he was younger in a lot of the comics, but they kind of go back and forth on age, I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get attacked now by people who love X-Men more than I do.
Mm.
But yeah, and like I know Tim's seen this movie, Hannah Montana.
Oh, yeah.
The Hannah Montana movie, he was in that.
Nope.
Nice. Classic.
And he is in, I think it's on Fox, MacGyver. He's the new MacGyver.
There's a new MacGyver?
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yeah.
Trip
The
is a
people
new
in
MacGyver?
North Dakota knew.
Yeah. Probably not them.
Weird.
Because they're like, we don't watch anything with this kid anymore.
So he's basically typecast into.
Yeah.
To be
right.
like this, he's like actiony.
I was gonna say he's like
Sort of.
he. I don't know what the correct word for this would be, but he's just kind of like a guy that works on cars or a guy that just like has
Blows
street
shit up.
smart. He blows shit up. Like I don't know.
He's not smart in X-Men.
Yeah, so
He
maybe
doesn't
he's
get along
just.
with Beast.
I was gonna say he's typecasted as a dumb kid, but he's clearly not if he's MacGyver. So I
Well,
don't know.
MacGyver. Yeah, I
MacGyver
guess
can
it's
just get
kind of
anything
like
to work.
Yeah, MacGyver's like a genius at improving like engineering,
Yeah.
but like he's stupid in other areas. I think. Like
I don't know. I've
he's
not seen
dumb
the
in
show.
general. I feel like that's what MacGyver is. He just like can improvise to like engineer things really quickly for no reason at all. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like Charlie. He's an idiot savant when it comes to like playing the piano. Like,
That is
True.
true. That is true.
he just kind of can just do stuff.
But some of the other actors, Mr. Weathers, bet you didn't know, is Danny Glover. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, he's in like all the Lethal Weapons. They're making a new one.
Yeah.
He's been having a resurgence. Or
hmm
what
Yeah.
is a renaissance? Is that
hmm
the Dernissance? Is that what you guys say?
Renaissance.
Yeah, the
Laura
Renaissance
Dern's.
for Laura Dern.
But yeah, he's in the new Jumanji movie.
Yeah, he is.
Yep. Him and Danny
Huh.
DeVito.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know.
Reese Tennyson. What character is Reese Tennyson?
Meredith.
Reno 911.
No, and no.
No, I don't know that guy's
That's
name.
Rob Lowe.
Yeah, Rob Lowe. No, what?
Rob Lowe is
Rob
Reese
Lowe.
Tennyson.
That what?
Rob Lowe.
I skipped a couple characters.
Oh,
Tim.
no, okay, alright. No, sorry. You threw me off with the names because you used the name from the movie, not the actor's name.
And then I said
Not
Rob
that I
Lowe.
knew the actor's name anyway. I knew Rob Lowe.
Yeah,
but then I was
because
picturing.
I've got that actor's name down, and that was very
Yeah.
wrong. Yeah, Rob Lowe, St. Elmo's Fire, The Outsiders, Wayne's
Mm-hmm.
World, Party Time, excellent. He's in The Lion Guard.
He's also making a
Park and
renaissance
Rec.
himself. I feel like he's in everything now.
Yeah.
Yep, Chris Traeger.
hmm
Sheriff Rick, better known as Barry Pepper.
Barry Pepper,
He's
nice.
kind of been in a few
Yeah.
big hits, like Saving Private Ryan,
He's in a couple things, yeah.
True
he was
Grit.
The sniper in Saving Private Ryan.
Oh,
The Green Mile,
wow.
Yeah.
and the Maze Runner series.
Who's he in the Maze Runner?
Vince. He's one of like.
Okay, don't know.
I know. I've been trying to get you to rewatch that with me recently, so that we can just watch all three of them in a row. But he's one of the guys that try and help in air
Okay,
quotes.
okay, got it,
Yeah.
got it.
And then we got Cindy. Cindy is Trip's mother. Also Holly
Oh,
from
yeah.
that's Amy
Yeah.
Ryan. She's also
I
in
referred to
Birdman.
her.
You
what?
referred to her strictly as Holly.
No, as
Oh.
Michael's wife.
I referred to her as
I
Holly
kept
the
calling
whole
her
time.
Michael's wife because I couldn't remember her name.
She's been doing like lots of small. I'm the mother.
Yeah.
Like I'm barely in the film, but
Mhm.
I'm the mom.
But I'm still there to get my paycheck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Now Tim was trying to talk about Jim Dowd, the scientist.
Yes.
Thomas Lennon is his real name.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's Lieutenant Dangle in Reno 911.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Or Sam knows him better. He's in I Love You Man. He has the famous quote, "You're a whore, Peter.
Yes. So good.
What?
I love you, man." Jason
Segel with
Segel.
Paul Rudd. And he's
Yeah,
slapping
I
the
can't
bass.
Papa the bass.
I can't remember him in that.
So
I It's been a long time since.
Paul Rudd's character is trying to make a new friend, and somebody sets him up
Right.
with Thomas Lennon's character. And Thomas Lennon thought it was like a date, and then he's hugging. Yeah,
He's hugging the
Huh,
other
okay.
dude, and they walk past. I don't know.
that's why he says you're a whore, Peter.
Maybe
I
it's not that
definitely remember
iconic.
Yeah. Burke is played by Holt
Yep,
McCallany.
a bunch too.
Holt, what a name.
Holt McCallany. He is in Fight Club.
Oh,
He's one of the random fighters.
okay.
He's the mechanic. He gets recruited by I don't know if it's by Edward Norton's Tyler or if it's Brad Pitt's Tyler, or yeah, just one of those two characters.
I mean, he looks like a big guy. I can see that.
Yeah, he's the guy who starts saying his name is Robert Paulson.
Oh,
That's him. I've seen Fight Club a bit. We got Brienne, guys. Everybody's favorite character, Brienne.
Brienne of Tarth.
Not Brienne. That's Brienne.
Sorry.
Brienne is Samara Weaving. She's the blonde girl.
Oh.
She's in Ready or Not, so that we saw the trailer for that a bunch in
Yes.
theaters, and then she's also in 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri.
Oh, okay.
She's Penelope. I think she's the girl that gets.
Could be.
But Meredith is Jane Levy.
Okay.
Oh, Jane Levy is Meredith. She's in. If you like scary movies, she's like in Evil Dead and Don't Breathe.
Oh, okay.
She's in
I've seen her before.
Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist, Castle Rock, and Shameless.
That Extraordinary Playlist show just started on Hulu
Yeah.
this year, so.
Yeah, she's Zoe. She's the main character.
Okay.
And then Sam Geldon, Tucker Albrizi. He's an AP Bio. He's one of the students in AP Bio.
He's like he's like the weird kid.
The weird kid or one of the
One
weird
of
kids?
I'm trying to he does like the weird stuff.
He
like,
does a lot of weird stuff in that show. I love every part of it.
Yeah, that show's amazing.
But yeah, and then Chris Wedge was the director, guys. You wouldn't have seen his film called Ice Age.
Nice.
He's also voices Scrat the squirrel.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah, but you didn't know that.
Showstopper right there.
Showstopper.
So, I want to talk about your favorite monster trucks, because even though we weren't, we didn't really see monster trucks in the theory of, like,
No.
Monster Jam! You saw, like...
Sunday.
Yeah, but you saw monster trucks, like, literal monster trucks. So, Tim, who was your favorite monster truck when you were a kid? Did you ever go to those?
Oh, Gravedigger.
Everybody's this great digger.
Yeah, because I don't watch monster trucks.
Because that's the only one everybody knows.
Yeah.
Anybody ever knows.
What's his color scheme?
It's green and black.
Yeah!
There's some purple in there.
Everybody loves
Yeah,
Gravedigger.
Because he
Yeah.
digs grapes.
I think I actually had a little toy Gravedigger.
I believe it.
We did, for sure.
I didn't.
Yeah.
We did, and I think we actually had, like, a video that was, like, highlight
what?
reels of
Oh my
Gravedigger.
god.
I had a monster truck video game now that I think about it.
Did you really? Was it for like the
Yeah.
Dreamcast?
But
or
I think I
something?
literally only played Gravedigger.
Yeah, there you
didn't-
go.
Sam, what are the other
And
names?
maybe like the monster one, the claw beast or whatever.
Oh,
I think
I
his
don't
name
know
is-
that
I think-
one.
I think
Sam's
it's
gonna
called
read some
Beast.
names. See if they really connect to you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, so for everyone that's like us that only knew Gravedigger really growing up, let me give you your monster truck education here. Here are a couple of popular ones. Maximum Destruction.
Mm,
Very nice with sound effects.
Blue Thunder.
Alright.
interesting.
Monster Mutt, which to my knowledge I think is just a dog.
I
like
just
a
want to
dog
believe
truck.
it's the dog from the movie
Dumb and
Dumber.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like
That's
that.
the one Tim really used.
Bigfoot, which
Bigfoot. That was it. That was the other
Oh,
one.
there you go.
Yeah?
Yep.
I knew it.
Where Harry and the Hendersons also drives that around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. This next one's Sam's favorite.
This is my favorite one. I've never seen it, never heard of it, but it's my new favorite one. Backwards Bob. He doesn't deserve the whole announcer spiel because his name is Backwards Bob. Like,
You
come
didn't even
on.
write down El Toro Loco.
I did not.
I like El Toro Loco.
Hmm.
I want you to refer to me as El Toro Loco from now on.
Okay.
At least for the rest of this podcast.
I mean, you already knew that, like.
Is that right, backwards, Bob?
So Tim is
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Hey, Bigfoot?
I'll take it. Yeah, I definitely remember Bigfoot now.
Yeah.
You guys got any more iconic scenes in this Bigfoot and backwards, Bob? A lot of bees.
I think the only other one I had that I just thought was really nice was when he first goes into the shop, right? And he's like being like, oh, I'm going to fix up this truck before he meets Screech. He is like fake driving. He's like,
Yes.
and I totally remember doing that as a kid. And then also,
Did you do it as a high schooler?
No, which is part of the point that I was trying to make here. And then the other high school ginger guy, when they're at the dealership, he hops in one and he goes, meow, meow, meow. And I just think that's so funny because
they went full teenage.
They're so old to be doing that. Unless in North Dakota, like, when you don't have your driver's license, that's just what you do. I'm so sorry, North Dakota.
Damn. I think we're going to have to send Sam to North Dakota.
I think they were just trying to make them out to be kids playing with cars. But
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I make car noises randomly sometimes. And
he does.
When
we're flying in a plane, he tries to drive the plane.
Yeah, I will do weird stuff like that, but very briefly and not that like out there. But I still thought that scene was weird. But yeah, I make car noises randomly, and people call me out on it.
Tim's just like, vroom, vroom, and you're sitting there like in a restaurant, and you're like, what? I was abandoning driving my car. It's been weeks.
So I guess he's not too old to be making those noises then, but
maybe to that extent.
Yeah, it was a long scene.
Yeah, he was very into it.
Yes.
Yeah. Tim, you got any? I mean, Bigfoot, you got any scenes?
What did you, El Toro Loco? No.
Yeah, I'm El Toro Loco.
My only other thing is like the monster's strength. Again, it's kind of just like a random, do whatever they want in the film to make it fit. But like at one point it shows it being strong or being able to this or that, and then all of a sudden it's like weak in a certain thing, and like it breaks through the concrete wall at one point, like no problem. But like they can't get out of those plastic boxes. I don't know.
That's true. I assume they were starving.
Those ones, yeah, but like he ends up feeding them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like he does give them some, but I guess it's also that they're like amphibious, so I would imagine they have to be in the water a little bit, so that's probably part of it. I don't know. It's just like it had the strength to break through these wall, like no problem, but then like it didn't accidentally break something on the truck.
Right.
How does it know the tensile strength of any of that stuff? It just kind of like.
Well, he doesn't like actually squeeze much. He's like.
No, I'm just saying, like,
just rotating
him moving around and stuff, or like, him jabbing with the air. You don't think that would make him twitch and like break something?
Or that he just happens to fit underneath a car so perfectly?
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't perfect.
After
I honestly don't know where he actually was. Although he does squish. Like they kind of didn't like were a liquid, so I don't know.
Well, is he like a cat? Does he not abide by the laws of physics?
Yeah, no, I would say, yep. Mm-hmm.
That's exactly it.
That's exactly it?
Yeah, 100%.
100% it's I've got nothing else on this flick. So Sam, as your box office bust, would you flip this on?
Man, I was ready for you to ask that question and not at the same time. I would actually say that I wouldn't.
What? Sam was crying and everything?
I did not cry through this movie, but I did get very into it. Like, when they were in grave peril, I was like, oh no, which I usually don't do that often. But
she got real into it.
I just think, while I did enjoy it, and it's worth one watch, maybe, there's just a lot going on that I think is just bizarre. I don't know. I just wasn't as entertained by it. Sorry.
She's putting her
What
fist
about
down.
You, Bigfoot?
Did you forget he was Bigfoot?
I did. I had to look at my paper.
Backwards Bob.
I'm going to say no. Even for a kid's movie.
Even for a children's film.
Like, watch other stuff.
This is why it was a bust. All right.
Go watch Frozen again or something. I don't know.
I would flip it on if I had kids.
If you're
no, if you didn't have,
if you're gonna consider watching this, go watch something you've already seen that you like. Like that's my opinion.
Okay.
But now I guess you have to watch it to see how terrible it is. But whatever. I can't even say that it's like terrible. It's just that it's not entertaining.
But it was entertaining at certain parts, and then you're just like,
I didn't find any entertainment in it.
False.
Okay, I liked Lieutenant Dangle and Rob Lowe. That was about it. Just that the fact they were in it. But other than that,
Okay, but yeah, as two like adults, I don't know if I'm gonna flip it on myself. It's free on Crackle. If you want
right.
to check it out, not gonna hurt you. You might lose roughly 2 hours because
You
of the
might
ads.
learn something about cars. Oh wait, never mind.
Hey, I learned about the elephant motor,
That's true.
Yeah.
and I learned that
Well,
this
that's because
movie
you
only
looked
has.
it up after. That's not because it was.
I didn't even look it up. It just
He
happened
just
to be on
called
the
it
list.
the elephant. Yeah.
You might learn
That car's-
nothing about North Dakota.
Yeah, you will not learn about North Dakota. You will also learn that there are more. After watching this movie, you'll think there are only Chrysler vehicles on the road because that there's actually only Chryslers in the movie.
That's crazy. But that's a thing, right? They do that in plenty of movies.
Yeah, and speaking of sponsorships, anybody else outside of me catch the Big Red sponsorship?
All the time.
Because people just don't drink red cream soda that often, so I always catch.
Oh.
So he comes out of the house at one point drinking some Big Red, and I'm like, he's got Big Red! And then at one point, I think they're in the Dodge truck store.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Big Red vending machine back there.
Yeah, he gets one out of there.
Yeah.
And I was like, Big Red? Where you at?
People love Big Red.
I like Big Red.
That is why you would flip it on. For
Yeah,
Big Red.
I need my Big Red to stay around. All right, Tim.
No, his name is Bigfoot.
Oh, shit. Bigfoot, my boy.
Uh-huh.
Your turn to pick the movie next
that's
week. Right. All right, we're going to spin the wheel.
Spin it.
All right, here we go. Ooh. So, Tim, this is a category we haven't gotten yet.
Woo!
I was actually really excited for this one. It is called Streaming Originals. Backwards, Bob, you want to explain that?
Streaming Originals
Oh,
is anything that is on the streaming platform. So if we think about like, well, okay, let me continue before you laugh at me. That was produced by the streaming platform. How's
there
that?
You go.
So if we talk about Disney Plus, you could have Disney Plus originals like Lady and the Tramp and Togo, or you could also have like Disney Channel original movies like Brink or Pixel Perfect. So Disney Plus has a lot more than like Netflix originals, which will have like just Netflix, or Hulu originals. Dare we go there? Because I don't think I've watched a single Hulu original.
Most of those are horror.
Yeah. So Bigfoot.
Mr. Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have a task ahead of you, sir.
I pick Harry and the Hendersons.
No, that wasn't
refuses to watch that again. Wait. Let's rank our movies. So I would put Harry and the Hendersons, and then Monster Trucks, and then Anna.
I'd put Anna.
Good. Bad.
Harry and the Hendersons and Monster Trucks.
Okay.
Really? Okay.
Well, it's the same order for me from last week. Just
I know. Just
and Tim is Harry.
So do I just pick the platform or?
You can just. We don't have to decide the platform yet. We'll announce it on our Instagram and our Twitter.
Oh, fancy.
Fancy boys. No.
So fancy. So check out there to see what we picked later this week, and then also you can listen to us on Anchor or Spotify. So
2 platforms.
Yes.
North Dakota accent, Sam. Go.
I can't do it. It will never be replicated. I'm sorry, North Dakotites, North Dakotians. I didn't mean to attack you so much.
But she did attack you a lot.
All right. Tune in next week, fellas.
For this epic episode of Flipper Flick.
Flipper Flick!
No.